Now, another question that's important: how many words do I need to learn in my target language to reach what we might call a minimal working proficiency so that I can communicate in my target language? Now, we're not talking about translating Shakespeare. We're not talking about writing eloquent poetry or translating Tolstoy or reading Tolstoy. No, we're talking about functioning in daily life in a way that's easygoing, comes naturally, etc., etc. How many words do I need to learn? Well, it's interesting. A college graduate knows somewhere between 17 and 20,000 words when he graduates. High school student, about 12,000 words. How many words do I need to learn? Do I really need to learn 12,000 words? 20,000 words? Or perhaps I need to learn 1,000,000 words. The English language is composed of 1,000,000 words, and 25,000 words are added every year to the English language. If Spanish is your target language, they estimate, again, about 1,000,000 words. It's an old language, been around a long time. Do you need to learn 1,000,000 words? Well, interestingly now, in our courses that we conduct all over the world, in every course we ask this question: how many words do you think you need to learn in your target language? We get answers: 300, 500, 850. Normally, about the highest is 1,000. We'll hold that thought and we'll come back and revisit that in a second. Now, I took a course some years ago which instructed us, if we learn 1,000 words in our target language, we will be able to understand 80% of what's written in a newspaper. Now, the average newspaper is written for a 4th grader, 5th grader. That's a 10 or 12-year-old. The point is, I came away from that course thinking, wow, all I have to do is learn 1,000 words. At the time I was learning Spanish, and I'm going to be fluent in Spanish. What's wrong with the 1,000 word theory? If we learn 1,000 words in our target language, we will be able to understand 80% of the words written in a newspaper. Now, what's wrong with that theory? Why can't we understand what's actually written in the newspaper by only learning 1,000 words? When we know 80%, that is 8 out of 10 words that we read, how many words don't we know? How many words don't we understand? Well, we understand 8 out of 10, means we don't understand 2 out of 10, or more simply, 1 in 5 words. What happens? We take the newspaper out, we start reading. Every 5th word, 1 out of 5, we have to guess. We don't know what it means. And the fact is, we really cannot understand what that article is saying. There's a difference between understanding 80% of the words and actually understanding 80% of the ideas. The 1,000 word theory just simply does not work. So recent research through corpus linguistics, which is the study of corpus, groups of words, experts spending years in this field tell us this: our target is 3,000 words, not 1,000. 1,000 words simply is not enough. So, why 3,000? Well, the same experts tell us when we know 3,000 words, now when we open up the newspaper, we know 98% of the words that are written there, which means 2% or 1 in 50 we don't recognize. But guess what happens at that point? Now that 1 word out of 50, we can understand from the context the general meaning of that word, and we can understand the article. So, 1,000 words is simply not enough. From my own personal experience in studying Spanish, 1,000 words was not enough. In studying Mandarin, 1,000 words is not enough. So our target in reality is 3,000 words. Paul Nation, the world's leading expert on this, has written dozens of books, dozens of white papers. Basically, what Mr. Nation says, there's not much point in learning all these other words like parabola, existentialism, anti-disestablishmentarianism, democracy, etc., words that are not on that 3,000 word list. There's just not much point in learning those low frequency words until we learn the 3,000 basic core words that make up what we call the global core vocabulary. Until we've learned those words, there's just not much sense in learning other words. So that's our goal, 3,000 words, making up the global core vocabulary.